Coming up on this week's episode of SVG Motors Weekly.
You guys are out doing some amazing stuff, getting out here and touching communities right here in outside of Eaton, Ohio. Tell me a little bit about what prompted you guys to start this foundation and get going.
Well, again, Roy and I, we came in Ohio State together.
Let's not forget, I did steal it from you, so.
Oh, I saw you?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was very nice.
Need a car, need it bad. Need something better than what you had. Not sure what you want or where to go. Well, there's one place that you need to know. SVG is the place for me, where you get superior value guaranteed.
Welcome to another episode of SVG Motors Weekly. This was a great week for me because I was able to get out and attend some really neat events and meet some amazing people. Check out this segment. It was so much fun. You know, I got to meet some former Ohio State Buckeye national champion football players who went on to the next level, to the NFL. And you know, maybe some of you don't know, I used to play some football and I was pretty good, but not good enough to make it to the NFL. So I decided to become a car salesman. But that's why it was so exciting, because I really admire the fact these guys got to the next level. But meeting them, they were so down to earth and neat people. Check out this interview. I got a chance to talk to them.
You guys are out doing some amazing stuff, getting out here and touching communities right here in Eaton, outside of Eaton, Ohio. Tell me a little bit about what prompted you guys to start this foundation and get going.
Well, again, Roy and I, we came in Ohio State together. You know, first time on campus is we met. You know, first guy I ran into on campus, and we got a chance to experience our time together there. Grew up similar upbringings. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Roy is from Cleveland, Ohio. But our family structure was very similar. Obviously, growing up in you know, impoverished areas, and so we understood quickly and early on, playing under Coach Jim Tressel. You know, he instilled in us the importance of not just being a great football player and doing things on the field, but what you do outside of the field, right? What do you do in the classroom, and then obviously what do you do in the community? Because that's what you're going to have to lean on when your playing days are over. So, you know, we took that to heart and started to get involved with some things while we were playing. And then when we got a chance to go on to the NFL, we knew that we truly had a platform and we truly had some resources at the time, financial and relational resources, that we could pull together and truly make a difference and help encourage and inspire the folks around us to go out and reach their dreams, right? And go out and reach their goals and utilize our platform as celebrities or football players to gain their attention at first, but then we go in with some true programming and services to keep their attention, motivate them so that they could be you know, self-sufficient and hopefully rise up.
Yeah, so I mean, with the celebrity status that comes with being professional football players, and these young people seeing you guys, and then for you to take the time to do what you guys do, show some humility that sometimes the TV and media doesn't really show the real side of you guys, that you really care about getting out here and influencing young people who in a lot of ways are just like the rest of us, you know, and you guys stuck to something. So to hear that from you guys is amazing. And you kids out there, if you get a chance, you got to come and meet some of these guys. What about you? What got you into this?
Same thing, you know, and we have the same mindset. You know, we just want to serve. We want to give back. I really believe that we're put on this earth to make a difference, to help others. When you start aligning yourself in service-minded experiences, and you start positioning yourself to make a difference, man, everything else takes care of itself.
Amen.
It's not so much about, I mean, you could chase your goals and your dreams, and we're supposed to go after what we feel like we're called to do. But once you've had an opportunity to taste that level of success, it's your responsibility to go back and show other people how to accomplish those same things, because getting to the top of the mountain, I believe, is just to get a better perspective and a better view on the people that need help so you can go back down and then bring them back up to the top with you. I don't think success should be owned by yourself. I think it should be shared across the board. And there's nothing wrong with being the big dog or the best of the best, but you could bring some people with you and show them and teach them how to really survive out here in this world. And you survive by serving, because there's always people that need help. There's never going to be enough money. There's never going to be enough cars. There's never going to be enough homes, or there's never going to be enough to fulfill that void that only serving can fill. So all the families that we've been able to touch in a short period of time, 7 or 8 years, just the impact and the legacies that will be left behind because of us teaching and showing them what you really can do with your position is awesome. We may never be able to see it, but somebody's grandkids, kids may have heard him speak this morning, and then they'll go out and change the world. And so that's why we take an opportunity and take advantage of these opportunities to give back and to be around these great people.
One thing that I really like when I first met Roy before we did this is he talked about his purpose in life was not to be an Ohio State Buckeye or to play in the NFL. That's his platform. And that really struck me because that helped me to realize, you know, as a superintendent, my purpose wasn't to be a superintendent. That's my platform. My purpose is to educate, and not just educate in the classroom, but educate through the community and utilizing the community. And that really, I mean, that's just been a blessing for me.
Once upon a time, there was a dealer whose goal was to move people up a couple years in their car and keep their payments the same. You feel me? Move them up a couple years, keep the payments the same.
I'm trying to tell you, he's crazy. He is crazy.
New Colorado, $199 a month with 0 down, Greenville or Urbana.
Move him up a couple years.
Move them up a couple years. Sooner or later, they all come around. Former mayor of Eaton, Dave Kirsch, introduced me to Jeff Parker, who is the superintendent over at National Trail Schools, and he has set up for the 3rd or 4th year in a row. He invites these Ohio State Buckeye players to do a basketball game and talk to the kids with the Driven organization, which you got a chance to see what that was about. But then the following day, I had a lot of fun. Jeff asked me to play in a basketball game, and it was so much fun. I was on the team. We were the Generals, okay? Very, very talented basketball players, not. And we got to play against the Cougars, who is a team put together by the Preble County Developmental Disabilities Board, and it was an amazing game. Check out some of the game. I got to meet some of the players on their team. In fact, there's a place there where he and I, one of the members of the other team, we get to play together, and he starts helping me, I help him, you know, and it worked out. Check it out.
So what do you think? Applebee's, Chili's, Red Lobster. Red Lobster? Yeah, the rolls are. Those biscuits? Yeah. Awesome. Good stuff.
Guys, we gotta get back in this game.
What? Game?
Yeah, there's a game going on.
Hey, come on! Let's go, guys! Come on!
Let's get fired up! Let's get fired up! Let's get fired up! Stand up! Stand up! Show your pride! Stand up! Stand up! Show your pride!
Hey, coach.
Yeah. Steve, you're not going in right now. You're not going in.
No. I was just wondering if you needed a car.
Come on, we got a ball game to play.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Let's not forget, I did steal it from you, so.
Oh, I saw you?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was very nice.
Well, my husband go easy on you, but.
What? Say hi to the camera.
Hey, guys.
So I can only imagine these young people sitting with stars in their eyes looking at what you guys are saying, and to hear what you're saying coming from a perspective of humility, that you guys are both saying, look, we're real and you can do what we did. And to hear somebody say that to them gives them hope.
But the cool thing is they don't have to see us in our uniform. They just see us as regular people.
Yeah.
Right. So now when they think of Buckeyes, they'll think differently. It's like
right.
Those are the guys that we saw.
Real people. Yes.
As real people. They're not the same guys on the TV. Like they might watch a football game. Those aren't Buckeyes. The Buckeyes came to our school. Like we know who they are. They're real people, and that's what you want. You want them to see you without the helmet on, without the uniform on, and still be able to make an impact on their hearts.
And then at the end of the day, it's just exposure, right? You know, these kids oftentimes in these communities that we go into, you know, they don't have a chance. Some of them don't even make it to Ohio State. They see it on TV, but they don't have a chance to go out and physically, you know, touch someone, and not just you know, a football player, an athlete, but someone that's successful in business. You know, who are the models? Who are the role models? Who are, you know, showing them, hey, that you can, right, be successful if no one is really truly taking the time to go back and say, hey, look, I came from this. Right, I'm similar situation, right? Maybe single parent household, maybe being raised by your grandmother, maybe not having the best of clothes or the best of shoes, and look what I was able to do because of the confidence in myself, because of my effort. I was able to get to a certain outcome in which I projected, and so they just need to see that more often, be exposed to that, and that's what they need, that's what they lack, and you know, we want to try to be the source to fill that void.
We believe that in coming together as community and with the school being a part of that, we just can have such an impact so that these young people who this next generation is just going to care and make a difference in the world that we live in today. And so we just, I've just found a real fit together, the school, the church, and the Driven Foundation, and we're just glad and excited to be a part of it each and every year.
The thing about it is, it's you know, we spend a lot of time with youth, but it's adults too.
Oh yes,
right? I mean, it's a lot of folks who just quite haven't figured it out, right? And that's okay, right? It's okay. You know, people go through life and they don't truly know who they are, right? They don't even know what they're passionate about or what they like because they're so caught up in the daily rigors of life, maybe taking care of family, maybe working, you know, just, you know, the kind of the mundane, right, daily activities that they lose themselves, right? And they forget their own goals. They forget what they like to do. They forgot that, you know, they once dreamed of having a big house on the hill and a Lamborghini or whatever the case may be from, you know, materialistic standpoint. Or Chevy. There you go.
I've had some influence, okay?
But, you know, they put their goals aside, they put their dreams aside, you know, and so we, you know, go out and encourage those folks too, because as we're talking to these students, you best believe there's teachers in here.
Oh, yes.
Best believe that there's administrators in here that, you know, also, right, have some life that they, you know, still maybe want to give. I mean, yeah, it's a great occupation to be an educator, but there may be some things on the side that you really want to do. Oftentimes people don't go out and do what they really want to do because they're afraid to fail, right? And so we try to encourage not only our young people, but our adults too, because here's the deal, whether you know it or not, the young people are looking to the adults, right? Whether it's the parents, whether it's folks looking up to, and, you know, as an adult, you can say, you go out and be the best that you can be. You go out and reach your dreams. But guess what? They're not doing that.
They're not believing in themselves.
They're not believing in themselves, right? And so the best example, not just to talk, the best example that you can be as an adult, as an older person, is you go out and do it, because these young people are watching it. Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a dealer whose goal was to move people up a couple years in their car and keep their payments the same. You feel me?
Move him up a couple years, keep the payments the same.
I'm trying to tell you, he's crazy. He is crazy.
Lease a new crew cab 4-wheel drive Ram for $189 a month in Eaton.
Move him up a couple years.
Move them up a couple years. Sooner or later, they all come around.
So Bethany, tell me a little bit about what you do.
What I do?
Yeah.
Well, every day I get to work with a phenomenal team of people, and we help serve individuals with developmental disabilities to live, work, and play in the community just like everybody else. And our game here today it's a history. It's been here for, gosh, at least 10 years. And we do this march is known as Disability Awareness Month. So this is just kind of a awareness event to let the community know more about what we do and really see that the folks that we serve and work with are people just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun. I really enjoyed myself, and there's so much love. I mean, you can see it when you're around. They just want to love and hug on you, and it's amazing. And thank you for what you do. I mean, it's I would say that from those of us that aren't involved with that, I mean, I think it's pretty amazing what you do.
Thank you.
And yeah, I sincerely think that my hat's off to what you guys are doing. This event was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for coming out to play with us, support us. Awesome.
Anytime I get a chance to play, I'm in.
All right, awesome. Sounds good. All right. Sounds good.
Man, I'm so glad I made it out here, got a chance to talk to you guys. And so tonight, you guys played in a game today. The kids got to watch you play basketball.
So more than that, I mean, we had a full day.
Okay.
A full day.
Well, tell me what you guys did.
You know, and we get a chance to go around these different communities and have a tremendous impact on, again, the students in those areas, as well as the educators in those areas, as well as the community as a whole. And we get a chance to, we put on a great event, but what we try to do is also bring that community together. So even when we are gone tomorrow and we go back to our respective homes, this community is still intact. They've been able to work together to put on a great event. So if we don't come back till next year, guess what? They've worked together, and now they can continue to do that, to put on programs and services and continue to help others throughout the rest of the year until we come back.
So I talked to Jeff Parker about 2-3 months ago, and he was so impressed by the impact that you guys made in the last. This is your 3rd year?
Yes, sir.
So I mean, obviously they like what you guys are doing. They feel that it's worth it, that they keep asking to come back. But I saw video footage of what happened, and so I think so you're doing more than just coming out here and playing basketball games. I mean, you're literally taking time and sitting down with how many students are you talking to today?
The whole school.
Wow.
You hit the whole school. So you got 10 guys out here, and we split the guys up. And so you get a couple guys reading to the elementary school kids, talking to them about attitude, behavior, character. And then you get the likes of Antonio, myself, and a few others that get a chance to do assemblies speaking on specific topics. Today we happen to be talking about breaking the cycle. All right, so all of our t-shirts in the basketball game said break the cycle on it. And it's really just about not necessarily looking at your circumstances as the end game, and just because maybe your dad's not around or your mom has some challenges or your family has some challenges, you could be the first person to accomplish the impossible. You could break the cycle. You could rewrite the narrative of your family. And so when you start talking to kids about that and being the first and making up in their mind and making a decision to go further, it makes these types of events worthwhile because our words are powerful, and then we get a chance to actually do something about it. Like Antonio mentioned earlier, we're actually here doing it. If the Buckeyes can come from Columbus, Ohio, drive 95, 100 minutes, an hour and a half, or whatever it may be to get to Eaton, New Paris, Ohio, then what more can you do every single week? It's 168 hours in a week. Can you give an extra hour to your kids, to the community? Just 1 hour a week extra from every adult here will make all the difference in the world. So that's what we're trying to show with this event. As Antonio mentioned earlier, the dinner, when we do a dinner later, is bringing church, state, businesses, students, parents, families together to enjoy some games and some fun, but more so to just show that what we can do, this is what we can do together if we put our minds to it. So it's a lot of fun.
You know, this is great stuff, really, really good stuff. And I know there's people watching, communities and businesses that could really use you guys coming out and talking to them. So how does that work out if there's somebody out there that's looking for your kind of help?
Well, if somebody wants to help, they can easily get online and go to staydriven.org, staydriven.org, and it'll outline everything that we do from an outreach perspective. But Antonio and I travel all around the country speaking to businesses, colleges, high school sports teams, high schools in general, teachers, you name it. We have an opportunity to go in and motivate and inspire these people and you all to make a difference. So if you want to get in contact with us from a speaking standpoint, from an event standpoint, or if you just want to volunteer and support or give online, you can visit staydriven.org.
These guys are the real deal. I'm enjoying, sitting here talking to them, but I'd be remiss not to ask the question. Do you guys need a car?
Lamborghini.
I don't know that we have any Lamborghinis right now.
You got one? You got one over there?
I don't have.
Can you get one?
I might be able to get you one, but I don't have any in stock right now.
All right, that's good.
I don't really know if I need a car right now.
Well, let me ask you something, Roy. If I was able to move you up a couple years and keep your payments the same, would you consider doing that? You feel me?
I might let you move me up a couple of years and keep my payments the same.
Move you up a couple of years, keep your payments the same. Move you up a couple of years. See, hey. Thanks, guys. Yes. Thank you very much, fellas. I appreciate you. Yes. So we just got done playing in this amazing basketball game. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
And so, how long have you been doing this, or how long has it been going on?
At Trail, we've been hosting for 2 years now. Sheriff and I were talking. It's been going on in the county for 5, 7, 8 years, something like that they've been doing this with community people. But this is the second straight year that National Trail's been able to host.
Well, this is my first year. And we lost by, I think, 60 points. Did you lose that bad last year?
It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
we were happy to be close at halftime.
Yeah, the Cougars are very good. They're very good.
Yes.
They have some talent over there.
They do.
They absolutely do.
So it was really cool. I like the way you guys, brought everybody together, and I think the adults had as much fun as the kids and everybody else.
Yeah.
So I, for one, did.
Absolutely. We get just as much out of it, I would say, as what those kids do.
And this is a special weekend. Yesterday, what you guys did was really cool with the Ohio State players being here and the barbecue. That was
right. Yeah, that was the third year for that, and actually. This coming to Trail was born out of that 2 years ago when it was over at another school in Preble County, and talked to the gentleman that was running it then and said, hey, would you like an opportunity maybe we could raise a little more funds and a little more awareness? He said, absolutely. And so that's when we decided to piggyback our Buckeye Outreach Day with this and make a nice full weekend out of it.
Those guys were really, here's my buddy. Well, he's
Brooksy.
kind of you guys beat us 90-something to 30. Were you trying to beat us that bad?
Like guys was tonight, me and Mom, then my team, you wanted to get out.
But we were teammates. We were teammates, weren't we?
Yeah.
I helped you, you helped me. We had something good going there.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, this was amazing. I think just being here, I could feel, the community. Love for one another. It was really fun, and I'm flattered that you guys allowed me to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
We're glad to have you
being here.
Yes, sir.
No problem.
Yep.
No problem.
So once I realized that the game was getting way out of hand, I thought the only chance I had was to go, chum it up with the other team, members of the Cougars. And one young man, Brooks in particular, was a super great kid. And I enjoyed playing with him. But so I went to him and I said, look, man, I need your help. The score at that point, I think, was like 50-17. We were getting our butts kicked. But so I talked to Brooks, and he and I just really hit it off. In fact, so much so, I'm going down the court, and as I'm going down, he steals the ball from me about 3 or 4 times. But at any rate, once he realized the game was out of hand, he actually turned on his own team and tried to score for me because he realized I couldn't do it. And that was, he and I became pretty good friends at that point. So much so that his own team turned on him and they were guarding him and he was guarding them. It was funny. But we had a blast. In all seriousness, it was so much fun. Those young people at the Developmental Disabilities Board in Preble County, I mean, my heart melted. Being able to hang out with them and spend the day with them, and there was nothing but love in that room, and we competed, and they reminded us on a regular basis that they kicked our behinds, if you know what I mean.
I know. Don't let him talk trash. He's doing the secret
here's
play.
one thing. I ain't going to tell you what the secret play is.
Oh, so you do know the secret play.
I do. I'm just not going to tell you. I got it under wraps.
Hey, 92 to 30, hello. We beat you. Woo! Yes.
Hey, it was a close game. It was a close game.
It was a close game, but still,
Close game, 92 to 30. It was close. You don't think it was close?
No.
92 to 30 is not that.
Kick your butt.
It was a close game. No, was it? We're not that like that.
All in all, I can't say thanks enough to Jeff Parker and National Trail Schools and some of the community leaders in Preble County, the police chief, and so many of those guys and gals came out to make that a special day for a lot of people.
Thanks for watching another episode of SVG Motors Weekly. And if you haven't done it yet, go to youtube.com and subscribe to the SVG Motors channel. Or go to our Facebook page and like our page. And last but not least, if you want to see future episodes, go to your DVR and search SVG Motors and catch future episodes. Thanks again for watching.